he would even admit, you know, he's not going to out-aim everybody. You know, that's not his style of play. He wants to control the map. He wants to control the items. He wants to have that stack advantage to really push that way and get the win.
Well, let's push it that way over to the commentators right now.
All right, thank you very much, Stunna. It is indeed time to jump back into combat here for Ruleth versus Gellehsak, our last match of the day. Ruleth starting off on the BJ Blastwitch, which is a character we haven't really seen a whole lot of today.
There's a lot of utility to get out of BJ there. I mean, once you have that Sorelight getting pulled into play by Gellehsak, you need somebody who can just, you know, maybe push a button and remove that problem from the map. We're going to have to see how that gets used, though, as Ruleth is starting off here with Anarchy. I'm sorry, with BJ, actually. We're going to have Gellehsak over on the Anarchy side of things, making a grab for Mega, but not before stopping by to do a lot of damage on the armor. And man, really aggressive play, but here comes the double LG, making Gellehsak immediately think, hey, maybe I should go get an item instead.
It was crazy because if he actually continued that fight, there's a decent chance, probably would have come down to a roll of the dice at the end of the day, but there's a decent chance he might have been able to actually kill Gellehsak. However, didn't happen there.
Oh no, not at all, but Ruleth is still on a roll here. He's managed to take away a little bit of armor. He's seeing that the 225s down in the bones are going to be gone, not available for his recovery. That's going to leave him with this armor room to recover on, but that's still going to leave the heavy armor going over to Gellehsak's hands, and so allowing an Anarchy not to stack up necessarily, but just to take away items that BJ could be using instead. Not something Ruleth really wants right now.
Ruleth still going to be playing it passively right now, just holding back and waiting for Gellehsak to move across the map a little bit more here. He spotted him heading over towards the armor. Now here's him going to the rockets. He's got what he needs to engage. He's got the DueL back up too, especially if you could fight him back over here inside of this hallway. It'd be great for him to just lock it down. Opponent did steal away the rockets, but obviously those are on a short respawn, so finally Ruleth can get some rockets of his own. It took him until about 2 minutes into the round until he could finally equip those.
It's crazy that, you know, he didn't get a fight that forced him to take down BJ. It's crazy that he was able to use his combo guns and still have them spawn back up before he was even able to get a rocket launcher. But now that he's in it, I think he's ready to play in earnest now. So here, coming into the armor room, Ruleth catching Gellehsak, not quite seeing him, but Ruleth didn't quite have his rockets on point either. So as armor's coming back up, there's going to be a lot of spam going either way. But as Ruleth gets pushed back into the lava, he's going to be taken down and out. Gellehsak getting the first frag on the board.
Now for Ruleth, they'll be holding on here, trying to hold on to the respawn, but unfortunately the respawn didn't really work out well for him. He pretty much got cornered immediately by Gellehsak. It's only by the virtue of the fact that Gellehsak was also brought down relatively low that he actually fell back and didn't immediately try to finish off the second kill.
And so Gellehsak still being incredibly aggressive with his LG, and as you can see, it's proving to be fairly effective for him here. It's still 5 seconds before heavy armor spawns back up. Ruleth is going to be more focused on getting a rocket launcher and coming back into mid, figuring out where Gellehsak is coming from. It's still even a long time before Mega comes back up. So hopefully by this point we see Ruleth with both rockets and LG. Gellehsak is going to be backing up a little bit here, using his armor stack to push forward and throw off a little bit of spam onto Ruleth.
The rocket spam was enough to be able to keep Gellehsak back, however, so it let Ruleth move in. He got the Mega health buff. Another 50 added to the massive health pool that he has already. The spit going in. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it connected, but the LG work was enough on its own right to be able to finally knock out Gellehsak's Anarchy and bring this down into a 1v2, and it's going to be a Sorlag v Sorlag fight.
Not something we see very often, but we're going to have to see what happens as they might both be spitting on each other. Of course, the dot effect does not apply to Sorlag, so we're going to be seeing a much more kind of standard fight here as things are going. It's going to be LG coming out of Ruleth, a ton of damage, and actually it's going to be Gellehsak who's going to be incredibly wounded coming out of that battle. It's going to be a long time before armor comes back up, so Ruleth is just kind of scouring the bottom end of the map, seeing if he can catch Ruleth, or rather Gellehsak, unawares.
Well, it's got to spit back up ready to go too. Well, you'll note while the actual dot won't take any effect, you can still do damage, I think, if you hit them head on, which, like I said before, are worth 30 per hit.
All right, so Ruleth here, top of the map, making sure that if he's going to be able to get any spam off, Gellehsak on the Mega's going to be going his way for sure. Here comes spit out either way. It's going to be a big bounce up, interrupting the flow of that LG, but the last rocket gets the last word on Gellehsak there. It's now 1v1.
And nicely done from Ruleth, just bullying his way into taking control of that Mega. That's what really saves him in that fight. That nice little boost there is able to keep him in the action. He's got to be careful though, as he did get chased down by the LG. And with that, it prevents the reverse sweep upset there and still allows our red player to take control of round 1.
There's so much aggression you can get just by taking LG, hopping up over the statue, and just barreling into mid. And unless you have a HMG, there's not a whole lot to defend against that.
Yeah. So Gellehsak thankfully had a big advantage starting off in that round to begin with. Ruleth with a great attempt at a 3v1. Unfortunately, did not come out successfully from that attempt. So he's going to be resetting himself now, and he'll have to look to come back.
All right, well, we have Ruleth now getting his nice arms on those on that rocket launcher. Of course, he's going to be rocking the BJ out of the gate here once again. He made a beeline over to the LG. I mean, if you're running Blazkowicz and you don't have an LG, what is the point of you? But we got Ruleth coming back over the top of the map. We've got Anarchy to face off against, who could be literally anywhere as he's traversing the map. But it looks like he's going to be putting a little bit of pressure on this Mega pickup, and I like that Ruleth is pushing forward from this right now. We have the armor taken away, and if you can catch him off and still get back over to the Mega, oh, that's actually put in danger now. It's not something you could really risk when you have an Anarchy on the field. They could just get around you so fast, but he didn't take the Mega. And actually, if Ruleth takes the Mega now, this has a huge opportunity. He got a little double take there looking at the Mega like, oh, you're still here? All right, cool. But this allows him to now potentially cycle over to the armor. This is potentially really bad news for Gellehsak.
Gellehsak, though, has some great movement, though, so he's already over there waiting for the armor, and Ruleth has to scavenge over to be able to get some extra rockets for himself, too. So it's going to give Gellehsak the time he needs to be able to safely go and get that Mega armor, but still has to go against a pretty stacked out Ruleth in its current form. He's sitting at full armor. He's got the Mega health still built up. He's going to get another pickup of the Mega health in about a few seconds. Oh, wait, hold on. Maybe not anymore. Depends on how Gellehsak wants to play. So there's the DueL pop, and well, it's not necessarily going to guarantee that he can kill Gellehsak. At the very least, he's going to force him out of the room and let him get the Mega health pickup again.
Double LG is a very convincing way to tell somebody that you don't want them there. But we're going to be seeing Ruleth doing a ton of damage on this armor, and the armor's not even taken, so this is going to be Gellehsak at death's doorstep. We're looking for the last little bit of hit scan from the machine gun. It's not going to happen just yet, but there's the trap, and the jump pad should be a grave for Gellehsak's Anarchy. So, first frag of this round here, and we're down to Sorlag.
Into the boneyard with Gellehsak's corpse, and now Gellehsak, as you mentioned, is going to be jumping over to the Lizard. He still has the Ranger on backup too, so he still has 2 champions remaining. For Ruleth, though, he's proven to become incredibly aggressive after this first round, and the style of play is working out brilliantly for him.
They have a ton of health either way. I mean, Ruleth controlling the Mega health, and Gellehsak, well, having a Sorlag. That's all you really need for that. But 10 seconds left to Mega, and this whole time it looks like Gellehsak has kind of lost his timing, lost his scope of the Mega, so he's kind of prowling around down there, looking for the timing, looking for the opportunity. But here comes the double LG doing exactly what it should do. But oh no, we've got Spit on BJ, and it looks like he's going to be surviving that with just 12 health.
So just barely edges out from that damage there and is able to recover some of his own HP. He's going to need to get the rest of that armor, though, as he's still really low. I'm not sure if he can actually survive this next engagement versus Gellehsak, but thankfully he brought Gellehsak down pretty low, too. However, the LG wins it out. So finally, he zacks off that Blazkowicz, putting Ruleth onto his second champion.
Gellehsak down to 11 HP, though, and coming out of that teleporter, he didn't look both ways before he crossed the street, and he got taken down.
So there's the nice quick trade coming out from Ruleth there as he brings it up to a 1-1. Things are going to stay dead even here on this first map in a best-of-3 series. First player to get to 3 points here will be the one to be able to take this map and 1 point in the series.
Absolutely. So as we get back into it, we've got Ruleth here now actually starting out with Sorlag. Things are working out pretty well for that Sorlag, so might as well lead with your best foot, especially against an Anarchy who's just throwing out so much LG. Ruleth is taking a lot of that damage, but he's still in this, but the tracking on the machine gun does not quite give him the frag, so Gellehsak is going to be able to get that first frag.
Even with those 25 levels that he managed to pick up before he went down, it didn't make a difference. Gellehsak had complete control of that situation, so he gets a nice, fast, quick kill. Ruleth getting a lot of damage off for free, though, and now his opponent trying to go in. He wanted to go for that Mega health, but he mistimed it, so Ruleth quickly trades it back, brings us down to a 2v2.
Rockets are capricious. I mean, sometimes that rocket jump doesn't quite go your way, and that really screwed up Gellehsak there. So now we got Ruleth actually facing off against a fully stacked dude. This is kind of dangerous for him.
Yeah, Gellehsak's in a really good position right now. He's just going to open it up with a little bit of a range fight. You'll remember, again, there's no rails on this map, so you don't have as many long-ranged options as you would normally.
All right, but it's going to be another close range fight down here at the Mega. Going to have to watch out for that Spit and go on recovery. Fortunately, he can recover to the armor. It's going to be coming up just a few seconds after the Mega health. But here comes the trap, here comes the rockets, here comes the Dire Orb. It doesn't quite connect, and with 35 health left over, Ruleth should be incredibly thankful that he's still alive at this point, but he's still coming back in for the fight. I don't hate that, but I love the shotgun from Gellehsak even more.
Yeah, when he bounced Gellehsak up into the air, he kind of lost his position, so Gellehsak was given the time to just leap over his opponent, switch over to the shotgun, and then quickly finish it off, as you mentioned, Ruleth was already relatively low right there. So now it's brought Ruleth down. He saved the best for last. He's gone over to the BJ Blazkowicz now, and we'll see how that is going to work out for him. Still get that stock and everything like that. He needs to pick up an LG still, but I don't think he's really going to be contested for it. He's able to run in, pick that up. His opponent will, of course, be battling him inside of this room, but he's got the dual wield ready to go. And that's a big amount of power that he can have. Even with that massive health pool that Gellehsak currently has, he can melt that down really quickly if Gellehsak's not careful.
Absolutely, but it would certainly do him a lot of good if he could whittle away at the stack a little bit before committing with the double LG. And a lot of the spam is doing a lot of good, especially as Gellehsak, once again, doesn't quite have the best awareness of the timing of the Mega Health. So as he comes back into mid, he's going to be running right into it. He's going to be able to avoid the fight and wait out the dual weapons, but he's still going to be stuck down below.
Ruleth having to reset himself now and definitely looking to get the power up back up here as he just rolls around the map looking for the timing bubbles as well. He'll have the DueL actually ready to go in about 5 seconds here, so we managed to get 6 bubbles, which reduced the cooldown to a huge degree. And now he does have it ready to go, so you can expect Ruleth to want to look to re-engage here in just a second, even though Gellehsak did just get the Mega Health back.
And that's very dangerous for this dinosaur for sure, but at the same time, he's doing a ton of damage with the nail gun out of the teleporter. He's taken away Mega Health, and he's actually only got a couple minutes to run this thing. So if he can just avoid the fight long enough, but this might actually be a really good opportunity for Gellehsak. Yeah, once your opponent is coming up those stairs, they don't really have a way out.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that last minute pop of the DueL again happened at a bit of an inopportune time. The last 2 pops in general that we saw in the DueL there from the Blazkowicz were at really poor timing, unfortunately, when it seemed like Ruleth thought that his opponent was going to try to dive in and take him on, but definitely was not the case in both of those circumstances, and he really just whiffed both of them, which allowed for Gellehsak to just wait him out and then easily dive back in to do massive damage.
Yeah, being able to read those moments is, of course, one of the biggest factors with how much damage you're going to be able to get out of those dual LGs. But we have Gellehsak back up here once again as Anarchy, doing a lot of initial damage on Ruleth, even though he's got such an awesome stack to contend with. Popping back through the teleporter, they're going to be trading a little bit of rockets and LG. Gellehsak just looking for an opportunity here. But at will, he can back up to the Mega Health. This is actually really good for him because he can bide a lot of time. He can actually leave the Mega up for a little bit, knowing that his back's to it, that Ruleth cannot get it for free, and Gellehsak can control the timing a little bit more.
And Ruleth still kind of hopping around here. He's going to be sitting back, waiting for Gellehsak to stop.
It's always interesting when you find the player in those hallways because you can hear them, you know that they're back there somewhere, but they still have a lot of options for exit and a lot of options to throw the ambush back against you as come flying out of Ruleth. Doing a bit of damage against Gellehsak, but Gellehsak is still thinking that he's owning the Mega, but oh, he wasn't looking the right way. He's going to need to drug up there and make sure he's back up on the health, getting over to the armor, but that is going to give up that Mega back over to a Sorlag, and you never want that.
No, not at all. You can just see how big Ruleth's health pool tends to be. However, most of that excess health is now gone, as Gellehsak is given an opportunity to dive back in, try to finish off the job right here. Great LG work, pushes him right into the red corner. And that's going to be Gellehsak finishing off another initial kill, about 1.5 minutes into the round as well, so that went pretty quickly.
All right, so it looks like Corrupted Keep is starting to look pretty good here for Gellehsak, and of course this is the guy who almost took out Rafa earlier today. Still looking really sharp, still looking really strong, considering the fact that these guys have been playing all day. And hats off to them for sure. But Gellehsak now getting back up on full stack control. That's not going to give him a huge amount of actual stack advantage, but it makes sure that Ruleth is going to be relatively weak.
And for Ruleth, he's still trying to look to a lockdown position against Gellehsak. He did some nice work with the rail there, but he's stuck down below inside of the armor room, so he really doesn't have a great opportunity to kind of follow his opponent and chase him down to finish off the rest of that HP. Nor is his health really at a great position anyway either. That's another problem here for Ruleth too. But, so Gellehsak, he's just hopping around the map. Just gonna stay away from Ruleth for the most part here.
Yeah,
so get into a good position to jump back in and engage.
Gellehsak was playing a little bit risky there as he was running around with fairly low health, but he still had the adrenaline ready to pop whenever he needed it. He just needed to make sure that he wasn't going to be running into Ruleth at the Mega. Fortunately for him, he got it pretty safe. Unfortunately for him, it also meant that he lost the opportunity to do some free damage down here. But with 3 seconds left to Mega, we're going to have to see if Ruleth once again decides not to show up.
Gellehsak making another wrap around here to try and lock on the Ruleth. There we go. He leaps right into the fight, getting massive rocket damage. And the problem is, though, is that Ruleth did get the armor pickup there in that last spawn. So Gellehsak was not able to continue the fight. He did have to pull back. He just run away from that one. And he's looking for a few pickups of his own before he can route back in. I mean, just look at the speed from Gellehsak, though. It doesn't even matter that he lost that fight. He's able to go around the map so quickly that Ruleth has completely lost the narrative in terms of where he's sitting from. So Gellehsak ends up in an advantage position, and now he can go right back to fighting his opponent here. However, there's the Dire report coming back up on top. Great LG work coming in from Gellehsak, but at the same time, Gellehsak is forced back and is forced to use the injection.
I mean, his ability usage is just pristine here. When you're low on health and you're running around the map as an Anarchy, you just can't and you won't and you don't stop. You just don't want to get caught in any fights like that. But right now, Gellehsak is doing a fantastic job of just burning a lot of this clock.
Gellehsak is going to continue to showcase that.
So now Gellehsak top of the map here. We've got Mega Health spawning back up. We've got Ruleth leaving it up in favor of Armor, but the timing is going to be a little bit off, so that means that Gellehsak coming in face forward, leading with rockets more than anything else, is going to be able to do a ton of damage. Even with the heavy armor taken away, that means that the recovery room is definitely going to be a place to once again trap his opponent. Really good read on the Dire Orb. Knew that his opponent needed the health more than anything else, and that is going to be potentially corrupt the keep here. Not very long for the count. I mean, Ruleth is already calling out GG here. There's still technically a game to go, but maybe he's telling his opponent that, all right, I'm checked out.
Yeah, he's got a minute to get 2 kills, basically, so it's kind of, we'll have to see.
Well, with the BJ, it certainly could happen. We have 12 seconds left before we have that adrenaline come back up, and until then, Gellehsak is going to be a little bit weaker here and more vulnerable to these direct assaults from Blazkowicz. So Gellehsak is going to be able to recover, and once again, just using his speed to just outdistance, outpace Ruleth at every turn.
Kind of looks like he's just trying to get Gellehsak to fight him at this point. Doesn't really seem to care, just leaping into the engagement. He wants to take a fight, even if he wins it or loses it. Doesn't really care for him, but Gellehsak doesn't want to take it. He just wants to run away and win this out via the timer. It's only 10 seconds left, so I think Gellehsak is safe to finally dive into that fight, and there we go. He gets that final kill, and he'll close out 3-1.
That could have been a frag for Ruleth there. I mean, one more second, half a second of that LG would have done the job and given him the opportunity to chase a spawn frag. But the way it goes, Gellehsak is going to be able to take away Corrupted Keep. I believe next up we've got Blood Run with Ruins of Sarnath as a potential tiebreaker.
Yeah, and there was some good play there overall from Gellehsak. At the end of the day, Ruleth did, like I said, calling the GG early. Even if he did get that 1 kill towards the end of it, he only had like 5-10 seconds to maybe get a second one, which is pretty much impossible. So
spawn frags can happen. I mean, it's something to always hold out hope for, even if you never see it.
In theory as well, Gellehsak could have just like, oh, I'm just going to sit here on the character screen for a couple seconds.
Right. That is something I'm still getting used to, is the 5-second respawn time.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
Yeah. But anyway, guys, we should be jumping into that second map, of course, in just a moment. We have the players in the lobby and everything like that, so it should be a pretty quick transition into that one. And now this is going to be Ruleth's chance to come back. He got so close on a few of the rounds. The match seemed kind of one-sided in the way that it played out with a 3-1 scoreline, but Ruleth got very close multiple times. Problem is that speed that we constantly were seeing from Gellehsak, especially when he was able to continuously use the Anarchy throughout most of the round there, it was just so hard to keep up with. And even in those positions where it seemed like Ruleth had an advantage positionally, seconds later it changed up because of how quickly Gellehsak was able to move around the map.
Players who depend, or rather rely a lot on Anarchy, I mean, you can see how difficult they are to chase down, how difficult they are to force into a fight. It's really just tough. But once you're able to take down that Anarchy, that tone can change very, very quickly. We've seen it with Gellehsak, we've seen it with Sane, and we're going to have to see if Ruleth can make it happen here on Blood Run.
Yeah, absolutely. And Blood Run, of course, going back to a classic Quake map. So for those of these players, and I believe both of them are, some of these players that have plenty of Quake experience in the previous games are going to be very familiar with this map. They're going to know exactly what it is. They'll have years of experience packed away, potentially, and that'll make for a very intense matchup.
Absolutely. So, of course, this is going to be a little bit of a different role here. We've got Rail coming back into the map. We've got a lot more potential for Dire Orb shenanigans on both the Mega and the Armor. So I'm expecting a Ranger from both of them. He's been kind of a staple, and I don't expect that to change. The Sorlag is really the wild card here. I mean, it's something that you really want to pull out in certain maps and not in others, but which map that is really depends on which players you're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody has their own preferences. We've seen before some players choosing to go for more of a tanky lineup here because of how quickly some of the spawn frags can happen due to the spawn timers. Some people just bring in the Gellehsak because of how powerful the totems can be on this map.
I love the Gellehsak.
Others still stick with their more standard layout of like a Ranger, Nyx, and then either like an Anarchy or a Visor or something like that coming in as the third pick. Tends to be the more standardized roster that we're seeing from a lot of players so far.
But another thing that's true of Anarchy players is that they will generally pick out Anarchy no matter what map it is, because once you go that fast, you just can't go back from it.
And we are seeing that as well, that obviously Gellehsak is going to be sticking with the Anarchy going into the second map. He already has it, and the game is going to be going live in about 2 or 3 seconds here, folks. So we should be able to hop back into the game and take a look and see if our player from the left side there, Ruleth, is going to be able to recover, or if he's going to drop this map too, and it'll be a quick 2-0 for Gellehsak to push in to a Quake onslaught.
Absolutely, and these slots are hotly contested for, but we're going to be seeing Ruleth having no contest on that armor just to get started here. But we have a bit of a fight over the rocket launcher. It's going to be rails on rails, just trying to punish each other, but it's Ruleth ending up taking a couple hits too many to really justify his move back into mid-map very cleanly here. He's going to wait before popping through the teleporter, going to get a little bit of leaven from that blood before he commits to it. He's actually going to hear Gellehsak up top, allowing him to move cleanly through the teleporter, get a little bit of fresh armor, and be ready maybe for this Mega.
Ruleth swinging around on the top side here. Gellehsak still hanging out down below, back by the health. He's managed to pick that up. Unfortunately for Ruleth, though, he wasn't really able to figure out where exactly Gellehsak was coming from, so missed that Q and some potential free damage, and now Ruleth's gonna have to swing across and try to get back to a better position to re-engage on Gellehsak, because right now he's kind of on the run.
Yeah, losing his control of the items right now, or even just awareness of the items, would be especially disastrous. Fortunately for him, they're coming up at the same time, so he can listen and look for where Gellehsak is going and maybe juke out the other direction. And being up here on top of the platform, this is a pretty good way to do it. So he's going to be able to get back on armor and ends up not getting railed for his treble, so he can maybe anticipate a move through the teleporter. Gellehsak is going to be incredibly quick, but of course, he's also smart. He's not going to be diving through that unless he knows it's going to be safe.
And he's anticipating that. Ruleth's going to be a little bit careful here. He's only got one rail shot remaining, so in a second he does have to move away and scavenge for ammo pickups, which he's now doing. A little bit more needed, however. So he's going to have to go back down into the pit to pick that up or locate the actual ammo box.
Yeah, getting a little bit of recovery here. Ruleth is now looking for an opportunity to rail Gellehsak up at the armor. He was the last one to get it, but now it's always an easy opportunity for a rail or two. Doesn't quite connect with anything, though, and now we've actually got Gellehsak, again using that Anarchy speed to show up someplace where you wouldn't normally expect to fight. Now Ruleth taking a little bit of rocket damage and actually just feeling the pressure more than the hurt.
Ruleth still kind of stuck over here by the armor room. Hasn't really found what he needs to jump back out and really engage back against his opponent here. He's trying to go for mega health, but so is his opponent. A potentially fatal mystery from Ruleth. Thankfully, he doesn't actually take all that much damage from the fight, but still, that could have been a lot worse. Yeah, if Gellehsak was on point with the engagement there.
If you don't play against Anarchy a lot, I mean, it can be really difficult to change how you predict these fights to go. I mean, when you come around that corner, you're thinking, okay, I can throw a rail up there. He's probably going to be at the pad. No, little do you know that Anarchy is already in your lap. And so, yeah, those rockets easily could have been a big problem for Ruleth.
Ruleth is still sitting down below here as well, trying to buy time a little bit more. As Gellehsak, well, he wants to take that fight, but Ruleth actually is doing the one that's getting most of the damage off right now. Nice little pokes here and there. He did miss that dire up toss. I think he wanted to try and pour it up top and steal the armor away. But now this is actually going to become problematic for Ruleth, as he does not have any armor to build off of whatsoever here. Even with that mega health that he picked up, 10 seconds ago here, he's only at 80 health and he's gotten 125 armor tick.
Yeah, that fight cost him so much, and he didn't even know that his spam was like not even close to the same zip code as Gellehsak. So again, there's more opportunities for Gellehsak to kind of put the pinchers on Ruleth. He's just not making them just yet. But again, we're seeing Ruleth get eaten away by this pressure, by this damage, just minute by minute.
Corp coming back in. He's attempting to hold off his opponent here, but now he's going to rocket jump up on top there as he's already used the dire orb. So he gets it, goes in for the armor. It's hit by almost a head-on rocket, though, so that's a lot of extra damage that he's going to have to eat up. Thankfully, he still ends up better off than Gellehsak, as Gellehsak basically has no armor to play off, but just his basic health pool.
Absolutely. So Ruleth popping back through the teleporter here. He's going to be finding Gellehsak up on top of the armor room. Coming back in for a little bit of recovery, but it's always a guessing game which way they're going to go out. And so you try to listen, you try to predict, but right now Ruleth sitting at the LG is not going to be getting much else other than rockets up the back. And missing the dire orb.
He's getting
as well.
unlucky with the dire orb. It's like the second time we've seen him try to teleport with it and missing it.
It's a good plan. It's a great plan, and it would have helped him out a lot, but it didn't quite go together for him, and he's also losing this opportunity to do damage against Gellehsak, and that's really the thing we haven't been seeing. It's been Gellehsak getting a ton of spam, Ruleth running the items, but still just taking all the hurt.
Ruleth's going to push it back in. We have a very close range fight here so far. The orb once again being pushed out. Probably not going to be taking the port on that one, however, as it was way off the mark. And now Ruleth just sitting in the blood pool, meeting up and getting all that health back. Gellehsak still better off than his opponent currently. He's got that 25 armor to play along with the basic health pool. So if Gellehsak wants to hunt down the kill, he can do it, especially now that he's got the mega armor.
That was a weird little situation there where Ruleth was able to pop through the teleporter, get chased through the teleporter, but Gellehsak just either didn't see, didn't hear, or didn't want the fight. But Ruleth, again, down to 25 health. That makes this next play for the mega health incredibly risky for Ruleth. I mean, maybe he could throw down a little bit of spam, maybe some tribal, but otherwise he's got to leave it alone.
Yeah, he's just going to sit back completely, so Gellehsak's going to run right over that, get it for free. And now it's going to come down to the last kill. There's like 10 seconds remaining of regulation time here. So Gellehsak, he had his opportunity a moment ago, but now he could potentially lose, just run into a 100 damage nade. Thankfully there was health nearby, but now Gellehsak has actually lost the armor in a moment here too. He could lose the health if he takes about 10 more seconds. There we go, rail shot connecting onto Gellehsak as well, so he's going to be brought down very low.
After forcing your opponent through the teleporter like that, you need to be able to get through, get up top as quickly as possible, and be able to cap them off as they try to make their move. And here's the move, here's the play, and it should be good for Ruleth. He took away the mega, he took away the frag, as well as the first round here on Blood Run.
Great timing from Ruleth there towards the end of it. Dives right back in, is able to get that mega health, which boosts his health enough just to take a straight-on fight versus his opponent there and actually knock him out of the running, finally winning out the first round, which went all the way to OT without a single kill.
I mean, it just shows just a lot of respect between these two players. They know what situations they can bank on, they know which ones they have to avoid, but right now, Ruleth is actually being a little bit more aggressive. Popping through the teleporter, he might be able to come through this armor room expecting Gellehsak up the jump pad. No, he's not going to get that, but he's fine with that. All he gets out of that is free armor.
Yeah, so Ruleth is still going to be hanging out, trying to play cautiously here. Dives in with the nail gun, but the nail gun aim is not on point, unfortunately. He's going to be missing a lot of those shots there. And Gellehsak gets away pretty much scot-free from that fight. With a lot of spam, it's the thought that counts, and sometimes you get a little bit more than that. 65 damage on a rocket is not bad when you're facing off against an Anarchy. And through the teleporter, we've got Gellehsak just pushing on forward and pushing on down, just baiting Ruleth into this close-range fight. But we still hear the teleporter taken once again. Ruleth going, all right, is this Mega really going to be mine, or am I going to be getting a Gellehsak in my lap again? Gellehsak pushing back in at the last second, trying to clip off a rail shot there, too, that you saw. Just barely inched in to peek for that one, but missed it. Was not in the direct path of it, and now he can dive back in here and take control of the Mega. He still thinks that Gellehsak's down there, actually, but Gellehsak is right below him, so a bit of a misread from Ruleth there. He'll still get the Mega armor, but he does let Gellehsak run right in and get the health, basically, with no trading damage. Now, though, he's got the armor advantage, and he did great. About 100 plus damage, so he can chase down Gellehsak and try to end it here, getting himself an extra kill. But chooses not to, chooses to sit back and play it passively. Yeah, Gellehsak's speed is getting him out of a lot of these sticky situations. Those two rockets were absolutely brutal, but he was able to pop through the teleporter before Ruleth really realized what was up. So Ruleth would really have a lot to gain by baiting out the Mega like he is here. I mean, a little bit of damage goes a long way against an Anarchy. And so if that means that, you know, an item gets left up and Gellehsak runs away, who does that really help at that point? But there's the Dire Orb, there's a little bit of LG, tries going for the rail. That would have done it. Didn't quite make the connection though, but here at the bottom of the stairwell, yeah, Gellehsak is going to realize what's up, throw out an awesome spam rocket, and just get out of that fight once again. Ruleth is trying to chase it down, but again, he just can't keep up with the speed. There's a rail shot though, connecting on the Gellehsak. And now, again, he's low, but Ruleth just too slow to be able to chase any of this down, so Gellehsak is allowed to just run away scot-free and reset his position for the next fight. This keeps happening over and over again. This is the thing that happens, yeah, you're chasing, you get railed, and now you gotta go get 25s, you gotta go get small armors, and even if your opponent is leading you the heavy armor or the Mega health, you're losing your ability to know where your opponent is, and they're using that time to go into hiding, to change their routing. But here's a really close range fight, one that Ruleth is actually going to be backing away from, knowing that he was railable. Yeah, he does back into that portal at the very last second. I'm not sure if he actually purposefully wanted to back into that portal or not, or if he just accidentally went a little bit too close to it. Honestly, I'm not sure if he's sure either. Yeah, I mean, you saw it. He went through and he was still like shooting rockets in the corner, like he was trying to aim for something there. So it did seem like it almost went through it accidentally, but now he's going to be forced to comment against Gellehsak, though, also choosing not to continue that fight. He had a great opener there on the LG, and now, well, Ruleth's going to try to turn that back around as he's doing massive damage, but Gellehsak holds on and does better work with the rockets so that he can finally get a first kill against Ruleth. Really solid work there, and of course, LGing somebody as fast as an Anarchy is never an easy feat, but we have 2 seconds to Mega, and Ruleth is making sure he's got some modicum of arsenal before he commits to the item. He's also expecting a fight from Gellehsak, so he kind of pre-vomits, which is a nice defensive mechanism, but not the most effective. No. Well, now Ruleth is going to be able to play a little bit more carefully here, a little bit more cautiously now that he has the boost of that Mega health. It's going to make him essentially, will take the next rail shot or two for free, even if Gellehsak gets a nice advantage to engage upon him here. Now, like you saw in the last round, we saw Ranger v Anarchy go into overtime, so I think Gellehsak, if he thinks he can get away with it, will be more than happy to just burn this remaining minute and 10 seconds using just Anarchy, just the speed that he has over this Sorlag. That's a nice rocket, though, to punish Ruleth as soon as he tries to jump back up. That armor's out in the open right now, but Gellehsak doesn't care, wants to take the fight, and he succeeds in picking it up there. Second kill now claimed for Gellehsak. He's going to take a lot of damage from the dot, but is still able to recover it pretty quickly, and then just uses the injection to get his health back up to max, as he knows that Ruleth's respawn should be pretty close. It certainly does help, but as Ruleth comes up onto the tripod platform, he's going to be eating a rail from Gellehsak. Can't afford too many more of those. Even as a Galena, he's going to be able to recover a little bit on the totem and also set a few more traps. But man, these rails coming at Gellehsak, he's looking for the last one, fading away before he escapes through the teleporter. Doesn't quite get it, but that certainly sets a tone for this next fight. And now he's got to watch out for these totems themselves. Actually, this is something where I'm wondering where this Galena didn't get pulled out into the game earlier, because those totems against a 75 max health character can end up going so far. But man, these rails again from Gellehsak just keeping him in the ring. And there's little tiny peaks as well, just little dips of damage that is able to keep Ruleth low, keep him on the run, and there you go! Perfect movement from Gellehsak to be able to trade out round number 2 and tie it up at 1-1.
Wow, I mean, he really pulled out all the stops in that last minute. It seemed like his movement was on point and all of his rails were just right where they needed to be.
Seems like he was in the rocket room one moment, and then all of a sudden he's back up on the ledge, up on top of where Armor spawns there. So very well done from Gellehsak. You just cannot run away from this guy. And with that, Ruleth drops round 2 now, and lets Gellehsak get up onto the board, tying this match up. And oh, beautiful opening rocket from Gellehsak, and a second one as well. Ruleth just sitting on top of the balcony there makes it very easy for Gellehsak to chase that down and get a quick first kill.
No more Ranger for Ruleth here. I mean, losing a frag that early on definitely doesn't set a good tone. And against Swirlag, again, we're going to come into the same problem potentially, where Gellehsak is just able to slip through Ruleth's fingers every single time, while at the same time making a lot of consistent rails. That is 2 up against Ruleth, and now he's in that unfortunate situation where, yeah, he's Swirlag, yeah, he's slow, but he also doesn't have the stack or the hit point advantage here. And close range with these rockets, Gellehsak might be looking to finish off.
Ruleth is going to be holding on towards the back here now. Now that he has control over the armor room, he's got to be very careful of the speed from Gellehsak. That was becoming an issue in the last round. It continued to be an issue at the beginning of this round. Wow, he lost that champion so quickly. He does not expect Gellehsak to get on him that fast. And now, well, he is hopping around. He's getting a little bit more mobile as he's trying to make sure that he can pick up the stack for himself. You'll note he only right now has rockets, nail gun, and an SMG. This isn't even the upgraded one either. He's just sitting on the basic spawn one. So he's still Sorrel, and he finally got an LG pickup for himself, so he's getting that stack going. Still no rails or anything though, so Ruleth is definitely not really going to be wanting to take a fight for at least another 20 seconds or so until he can get a rail.
That is no fun, as Gellehsak was trying to set up a bit of a trap on the armor room. But here comes the jump pad, here comes the LG, and that Swirlag is just going to be torn apart by the lightning gun. Gellehsak putting Ruleth back on Galena one more time here on Blood Run, but as he comes out of it, he's looking for the spawn, he's looking for the sounds, he's looking for Galena, looking for a rocket launcher. And even though he's going to be forcing Ruleth off of that for the moment, he also doesn't have the opportunity to force a fight.
That's going to be very annoying as well for Ruleth, because that's just after he finally gets his full stack going that he goes up that jump pad and just ditches the trap is sprung at that point. And Gellehsak is like, oh, I'll just spam LG you into a corner. There's nothing you can do about this. So is able to knock him out pretty quickly there as he reads into it, gets the perfect read against Ruleth there, and really doesn't give him any other option. Just forces him into a corner, and it's an easy kill for Gellehsak to get. And now locking it down, just a one more champion for Ruleth before Gellehsak goes up 2-1.
Like many things in Blood Run, you know, that jump pad is only safe if you know where your opponent's at. If you don't know where he's at, that teleporter could be unsafe, that jump pad could be unsafe, you know, moving into the armor room could be unsafe. It's a really baity and trappy kind of map. But we've got 2 minutes and 30 seconds knocked off. Gellehsak 2 frags in the lead.
Ruleth, this is so unfortunate because he wants to go up and get that armor that's in front of him, but he actually doesn't have rockets right now. He can, there is that trick he can do with tri-bolts. I guess he didn't realize that.
Oh, he tried and didn't quite make it. I mean, he can set another totem down there, but that's going to be opening himself up to another potential rail from Gellehsak. One that was missed, so, you know, no harm, no foul there. But again, it burns off a lot of time.
Yeah, indeed. Thankfully, Gellehsak just, I believe Gellehsak just assumed he got it there, so he didn't really try to chase it down too much. In fact, you can see this now. He is trying to go in as he was expecting it to be spawning, I think, right around this point, but this aligns with about the 10 or 15 seconds it took Ruleth to actually finally complete that jump and get up on top to steal the armor.
Somebody who didn't get an item, who the opponent assumes got that item, ends up being one of the biggest things that turns into upsets in Quake. I mean, it is such a vital piece of information to miss for both players. But 3 minutes and 20 seconds knocked off here. Gellehsak still looking for an angle on the rail. Coming up the jump pad himself this time. It's not going to turn into quite the deadly trap it was for Ruleth. And indeed, Gellehsak is going to be able to do a lot of damage there.
Gellehsak's actually been, as another point here, he's been pretty good at managing the totems for the most part here. Just making sure that Ruleth doesn't have too many on the board at once. Like, he's got one down right now. In a second, he's going to be able to put down a second one, but he's been taking them out almost as soon as they get put down most of the time. There's only been 1 or 2 sneaky ones that have been able to stay alive.
Really ballsy play out of Gellehsak as he was able to move in and get the grab for Mega with only just, what, 8 health left over. So a quick pause there as he's making sure that Ruleth will not be right around that corner, or dropping a totem right around that corner as the case may be. But final minute here, and Ruleth has got to go on the hunt.
He's hopping back up now. He's going to want to try to push back in and chase down a potential final kill against Ruleth, excuse me, if he can get it. But Ruleth now leaping through the portal. Thought he had the engagement against Gellehsak, but no, he's on the Anarchy, so good luck catching that. As we've seen plenty of times before, Gellehsak can immediately disengage from these fights, and if he wants to now, Gellehsak, I mean, there's only 40 seconds left in the round. He can just run around and just completely avoid his opponent, even if he dies. Like it's a 4, they got the respawn timer still to worry about, and not only that, but it's going to give like 20 seconds max to get the kill on the refrag here. So Gellehsak is actually quite low. It's got the injection though, so it saves his health pool, brings back a little bit. Nice shot from Ruleth though. Out of nowhere, knocks him out.
That's exactly what we were looking for. I mean, at some point, that hunting dynamic turns into a hiding dynamic, and that it can be incredibly dangerous. But still, 10 seconds, 1 frag. We're going to have to see if Ruleth can hunt down the Sorlag and get the LG going. He's only got 35 cells, though, which is just not enough to make it happen. And as you see Gellehsak disappear through the teleporter, the chances for him are also going to disappear.
So round number 3 goes over to Gellehsak. He goes up 2-1. He's 1 more round away from a slot at QuakeCon.
Man, it's so close. And this has been an intense matchup, one with a lot of damage trading, but Gellehsak has consistently been able to evade fights and just dictate the pacing of this match with that Anarchy. And still we have Ruleth starting off the match with a Ranger instead of something that might be able to take down that Anarchy a little bit more effectively. He's using the Dire Orb effectively here to just get a sight on the map. He doesn't have any weapons at this point other than the Tri-Bolt. He's going to know that, you know, LG, rockets, they're all potentially dangerous and wants to make sure that he's not inviting a fight.
Yeah, so Ruleth is still taking it slowly here right now. Meanwhile, for Gellehsak, well, he wants to dive in and take this fight.
But he might not have the option here. As he's left that 66 health, if he can defend himself, it'll be a miracle, but no miracle for him. Gellehsak is indeed going to be turning this back around. And here comes Gellehsak. I like this. We have Gellehsak being pulled up as the 2nd champion for Ruleth, and this can turn into a real problem for Gellehsak, potentially.
Even when Gellehsak gets bounced, though, you saw that there. It seemed like, oh, he's bouncing the air, should be able to lose this fight now. Ruleth just not able to finish it off, so nicely done from Gellehsak, controlling the situation despite not having full control over his mobility in that fight. Really well played out. Still able to get that first kill, knocking out Ruleth's Ranger right from the start. Nice and early, gives him plenty of time to buffer up now. And for Ruleth, well, he's going to have the pressure on him as he's working from behind again.
When you bounce somebody with the rocket, it's a test of skill for both players. You know, it's difficult to aim down and get that shot and recover. It's also difficult to track somebody who's just been popped over your head. But Gellehsak is actually, ironically enough, with this Anarchy, slowing things down here a little bit. Coming over the top of the map, he's going to be really noisy. We've got to have Ruleth knowing he's there. No, he didn't seem to get the message. Well, he got the message from that 96 damage rocket, as we're going to be seeing a ton of hurt coming Ruleth's way.
Ruleth is trying to avoid this now. He doesn't have the health spawning for another couple of seconds here. Gellehsak, though, is not really concerned with actually going straight forward with this kill, so he's going to let Ruleth go in and pick up the mega health. In a second or two, Ruleth can place down another totem. So we'll see. I believe right outside of the portals where he's going to go for it. Oh, I'm actually going to be kind of mad if that instantly got killed, but he stays alive. However, he might not be alive for too much longer. There we go. After 2 rail shots back to back, Gellehsak chases it down with the lightning gun, is able to complete that kill. And he might just go for the 3rd and final one right here as well. Trying to chase down Ruleth's final champion. He did lose in those. He's probably going to have to reset.
As we've been saying throughout the course of the day, well, actually, we have rockets, 2, maybe 1 more rocket. The spit is going to do a lot of damage. That is going to be the 3rd frag and the last chance for Ruleth there. So it's going to be Gellehsak moving forward. We're going to be seeing him in Dallas. Yeah,
so Gellehsak nicely done. Almost took down the current QuakeCon champion earlier on in the bracket, towards the upper bracket there. So it's not too surprising to see him come through in the lower bracket, as he does pretty much, as he does take down Ruleth there and is able to knock him out. So he's going to be heading home, and Ruleth's only chance now is to qualify through the